Gets whiffed by Fata, but they will just let Ziz go down. The rest of Complexity on the back foot is now Bone Sevens here doing a lot of damage to Z-Freak. Will get stunned up by Fly. Spirit Breaker charge going the other way to make the escape. Big Daddy walking over a Sentry Ward, but they won't have any way to punish it. Meanwhile, on the backside, Fly gets left behind, turning into a disaster for Cloud9. Z-Freak trying to get aggressive. He will dust, but ends up falling as well. It's a 3-0 with Swindle now on the run. Moonmeander nowhere to be found, just split pushing in the bottom lane as Swindle will eat his stick charges and live. Oof.
So the game is just a lot harder for Complexity than the previous one, and they're not executing their team fights nearly as well. I feel like they needed a ward on the high ground there to really know what was going on, but they're actually getting contested at their towers, and maybe C9 did need to do that more in the previous game, because now they're actually getting kills out of it, and they're punishing mistakes that Complexity is making.
It also felt like just a miscommunication with Ziz going in so deep up here, and the rest of his team kind of isolated on this side of the plateau. They couldn't really commit as a unit. Now down in the bottom lane, Moonmeander initiated on by the stolen Charge of Darkness from Misery. He will be okay for now. Again, those stick charges coming in handy, and he will just surge back to safety.
Yeah, he's got a cloak too, and Puck didn't have his ulti, so... Yeah. I mean, the fight wasn't even that amazing for C9. The Puck ended up... I think that's why he went forward on the gyro, because he was anticipating getting Dream Coiled, and the Puck Dream Coil ended up completely missing. But once he positioned himself towards the tower, his best chance there was really just right-clicking Envy and trying to go for that kill. And he was kind of close, but really doesn't have enough damage here. They're going to find Eternal Envy, though. Need the Stormhammer. There's the first one, and the stun follow-up, and that is a dead hero. Yep. Shadow Fiend shifts over, but I don't think he was going to get that kill regardless, so...
Okay. Oh. My Valve phone is ringing. Sorry, Valve. In a game right now.
We're busy.
All right. So, yeah, nice little gank there for Complexity. Deep in the enemy jungle. Pressuring MB, who, although farming much better than last game, still isn't really balling out of control. He's going for this exact same build with the HOD to farm the jungle, stack Ancients with that neutral creep, and we're still seeing Swindle with very impressive farm. #1 on net worth by a nice little margin. We'll just glance at the graphs and... Well, it tells a pretty good story about how close this game is, though Complexity has been consistently sitting in the lead. Fata and Swindle will have a skirmish over the rune, and again, Swindle secures it. Fata in kind of an awkward position, but he will live. Meanwhile, on the other side, Z-Freak left behind in the jungle and just obliterated. Compliments of that decrep.
That was some synergy right there. That's a hero that's normally quite tanky, but his HP is actually not that high right now due to being support. He doesn't have any treads yet. He's pretty much just squishy to magic damage, so it's good synergy against him. I like it.
Even just 1 point in that decrep, the Shuriken Toss and Fade Bolt, that is a huge amount of burst damage. All right.
In terms of farm levels between the carries, Sven is not caught up to Gyro at all, I feel, but the Shadow Fiend is far ahead of all of them, so I feel like Shadow Fiend is still going to be a big issue for Gyro, especially if he's able to get his Scotty before Gyro gets his B-Fly in the late game. Obviously, that's a couple items away, but we saw it last game. It made the Gyro completely useless if SF did get that Scotty picked up, so that's really the timing that I think is going to be more imperative here, because Sven needs some items to be useful, but it's really just Mask of Madness and a BKB before he starts four-shotting some heroes. So maybe not quite four-shotting, but as long as Sven gets a couple, I think he's still going to be relevant here.
Well, he's got the Mask of Madness completed now. It's on the way via the Courier. Still a ways off the BKB, but his farm is in that middle ground. Not amazing, but still very recoverable if they can take a decent team fight or two. Still haven't really seen Complexity play around this mech from Swindle Melons, though. And when a Shadow Fiend picks up a mech this early on, it's definitely not for farming. That's a sign you want to group up and team fight. And, well, as I say that, they group up as 4 here in the top lane. Moon will stay down bottom and try to defend this incoming push from Bone 7 and Eternal Envy. This could end up being good for Complexity if they can get a free Tier 2 tower out of this and could possibly even come back to defend if C9 commit for this bottom tower. The Wall of Replica already deployed preemptively here. I
don't know if they can even win this fight, honestly, because they've already used the ultimate of Sven. They're lacking that damage pretty massively, and now they need to back up. Their Observer Ward's up. They're going to spot out the Bounty Hunter. Can Fly get a solo kill? No. They're going to get tracked, so this is tough. Most of Complexity is moving towards the top tower, but they're a lot more hesitant than they were in the last game. They don't have as much wiggle room by having the Wisp there. Anyone that gets initiated on is much more likely to die. They don't have as much movement speed to use as positioning, so this game is much harder for them to take an advantage over C9.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams will kind of be stalemated there at the Tier 2 towers. Aside from that... Oh.
I'm sorry, it was Fata. I thought he was going to set up top. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, before that last fight, it seemed like they were doing such a good job keeping this Bounty Hunter at bay, where Big Daddy's been leeching experience here and there, but only 1-1 and 2. That's still a pretty low KDA for a Bounty Hunter at 16 minutes.
It is, but it's been 3 of the 9 kills. It's a semi-kill participation. I think it's all right, but it is a bit low for sure. I think it's just that the game is kind of weird. Complexity is doing a lot of aggressive farming, and they're trying to take these towers, and I think C9's not always completely sure where the enemy team is.
Yeah, and that was more of a praise of how Complexity have not overextended to give Big Daddy opportunities to find free kills rather than, accusing Big Daddy of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just hasn't been an easy game for the Bounty Hunter. There haven't been too many opportunities for him to get little pickoffs here and there. For the most part, Complexity have a very beefy lineup.
I like the smoke they did here. They spotted the C9 one with their ward, so they waited about 20 seconds and they use their smoke. They wait for the C9 to break, and then they go for the initiation. There's the war cry. The charge as well. This should be Bone 7 dying no matter what. Very, very easy kill. And this could lead to them taking a tower. 42 seconds left for Pugna. He's very high leveled because he's a fast farmer, so this is the advantage that Complexity wanted. They immediately send Swindle Melons back to the mid lane to continue farming, and they're just distributing their time so well on this team. Like, that's part of the reason that C9 hasn't been able to get as many ganks off, because they pressure top so much, it forces C9 to elicit a response and have to sit a couple heroes there. I mean, Puck's been in position to gank Shadowfiend multiple times, but his team just isn't around to help out due to the fact that they constantly have to go top to defend. So by putting pressure up there, Complexity is actually protecting their Shadowfiend in a really great way.
Yeah, and now they'll move into this tower. They don't have much detection, though they do have some dust on the Spirit Breaker, who's also level 6. So if Big Daddy does show himself, they might be able to catch him out. Tracks starting to stack up here. Just 2 out for now, Misery. But here we go.
Oh, he's going to lead for the ult. Doesn't get it.
Oh, God's Strength hasn't been used yet. That's just a war cry. Glyph already comes out on the tier 2 tower. C9.
It's almost dead. They're collapsing in, though. This looks good.
Envy.
Oh, what the initiation!
He catches 4 on a coil. The call down's going to connect on 4 as well. Mech from Complexity, but it's not enough. Cloud9 finally finding the fight they've been looking for. Laguna Blade not going to be enough for the kill either. It's a full 5-0 exchange. Cloud9 securing an ultra kill on Bone 7.
They didn't even have vacuum, and they were all vacuumed together. That was the most clumped team I've ever seen, and a very rare mistake from Complexity leads to a complete 5-man wipe. You don't even have to be fodder to land that Dream Coil, but he nailed it, man. They just completely grouped up. They stayed a little bit too long, and C9 was in perfect positioning to punish that. Like, they were going to get kills there no matter what because they stayed a bit too long. They used Warcry just to tank the tower, which means when the actual fight happens, the right clicks are serious. But not that even would have saved them. That Shuriken started the fight off, hit like 5 heroes because No Tail was so set up, and then the Puck combo, when done to all heroes, puts them low already, and then the entire rest of the team is able to follow up.
That's like that, was the King to Ka, that roller coaster they've got that's just nothing but a straight downward spiral for 10 seconds. That's what this gold graph is here. So many track kills. Cloud9 have effectively taken control of this game. Very impressive stuff. That secures Eternal Envy his BKB. No big surprise there. Anything else on this courier? Nope, just the Black King bar. But Envy doing so much damage in that fight, setting up for the perfect call down and then all that flat cannon damage on top of it.
Yeah. C9 did such a good job this early game compared to the previous one. They defended against some of the ganks. They were able to slow down the tower pushes. They just didn't let Complexity take all the towers for free. And now they're in a good spot. Oh, pulling ZZ back. There's the ult as well. He's getting kind of low. Doesn't have Warcry just up. He's almost going to break the tether. He does break it. Called on lands on him. He's going to die. Oh, the mech's going to save him just barely, but they're losing 2 other heroes, and he's still going to fall. 3 dead heroes now for Complexity. And C9 pushing their advantage. They've got the BKBs, they've got the core items, they've got the initiating heroes, and Complexity is not looking nearly as strong in the team fight. So can they play from behind now? Because they are very clearly behind. That's 8 uncontested kills in a row for C9 now, and they got tracks on top of that.
Yeah, C9 just erupting with a fury of momentum here. They'll take out this Tier 2 tower pretty handily, and they may just want to rotate top and finish off this last Tier 1. They're hitting one peak of their power curve here with this BKB on Envy, and they are eager to take fights if they can continue to do this. That'll be another tower down and a larger gold lead for the Dire. Now even a Yule's Scepter coming out on the Puck as they rotate bottom. Or, pardon me, never mind. Just Big Daddy. I thought they were TPing to that Tier 1, but just Big Daddy stalking him out.
He's got a fast Glimmer Cape, too.
Yeah.
I like the pickup, though. It's going to stop any Lina follow-up damage, which is a large amount of the burst damage that Complexity is going to be throwing out. Will they see the initiation? Puck's going to be going for... No, they're actually not going to go in. I think they're anticipating him being covered. And look how confidently he just goes forward and farms. He's been doing this consistently, and it tricks your opponents a lot. You're like, wow, that guy's playing so aggressively. He's not reacting at all to the fact that I got tracked, and he knows that his team will be there eventually. And yeah, it doesn't give anything away there. He just keeps farming, and nobody's willing to gank him because they're like, he's playing aggressive. He's playing confident.
Big pickup for the Rubik here. Misery able to secure his Blink Dagger. Always a scary item in the hands of the Grand Magus as Misery blinks down and actually breaks the smoke from Complexity. It'll probably cost him his life. There's nowhere for him to go. Gets off a telekinesis before he goes down. But all things considered, if it's just a dead Rubik, and that could have been an unfortunate gank where they pick up a few others,
Ooh, and
Cloud9 could be okay with that trade.
And here's the problem with the towers that Complexity aim for. It doesn't cover them in the Roche pit. It makes Roche a little bit more likely, harder to defend, really. Puck Orb is going to come through, hit nails and swim him on. There's a call down, it might catch everybody. Does. Flies low, the ward from the high ground. How do you stop the damage? But they're actually doing it. They just killed 3 heroes and nobody went down there. I can't believe it.
It was a great setup from Cloud9, but I don't know what happened. Envy didn't get to use his BKB, and he just got evaporated.
Jeez, that's...
that's what happened, I guess. There it is.
That's very clear. He must have gotten Stormhammered into Lina stun. That's why Lina went low to the Death Ward, because they had to take that opportunity. If you're able to initiate stun a Gyrocopter, you got to go all in there, because if you kill him, that's what happens. The main damage output of C9 is gone, and Complexity coming back in this, all from a free Rubik kill. Something that Rubik honestly was unable to expect, not seeing Complexity. And then that led to just a slightly poor team fight for C9, a late BKB, and it completely changes the game and puts Complexity back in it. Yeah,
it's still a gold lead for C9, but even footing here. With an Aegis on, the Shadow Fiend, they can look for some aggressive plays and continue taking map objectives here. A double-stacked Ancients will be cleared out as Moon Meander picks up the Vanguard now.
I actually like that. I feel like this is a rare Crimson Guard game. Because Gyrocopter is not super far ahead, Flat Cannon will hit everybody, and it does physical damage. You can damage block that. And if you imagine every single person taking blocking that damage with Crimson Guard, you're talking about a lot of numbers. It's going to be pretty equivalent to a mech at some point. Blocks when you activate it 55. So that's